quick video on setting up frequency tables. Here's some data collected from a classroom while the students wrote anonymously what their political affiliation was, whether they were Democrats, Republican, or other. I want to be clear about this other thing, is that the list has to be exhaustive. So you either are a Democrat, you're a Republican, or you're something else. You could be non-affiliated, you could be a libertarian, you could be a socialist, etc. But you have to make sure that your list is an exhaustive list of possibilities. So what I did was I went through, and as I got one Democrat, check this off, and I put a tally mark here. Then I'm going to do the same thing with Republicans, just to show you quickly how this is done. So and this is actually a good thing to do if you don't have too many things to count through. Otherwise, it can get really, really old. Also, the fact that I'm checking these things off as I'm putting them in, Einstein said, why remember what's written down? If you just went through, it would be very difficult for you to remember which ones you had accounted for and which ones you hadn't. So that's what I'm doing here. So I have an R here, I have an R here, I have an R here, etc. I'm not going to do this whole thing with you. I don't want to waste all of your time on this, but I did want you to see how I did it. And there should be three more. 1, 2, 3 more. So 1, 2, 3 more. I'm going to count these: 5, 10, 15, 18. So 18. I'm going to do the same thing with other. I'm going to use a different color just to show you what I'm doing here. And just as I collect, this is what would have happened. As the index cards came in, as I collected the data, I would have been putting tally marks. Instead, I had to create this table so I could share it with you. So here are all those marks for other. And if you counted all those marks, you should get 9, I believe. Is 9 what I got? 9 is what I got, for a total of 40. So here is my frequency table, and that's it. From here, what I can do is this. I can find a relative frequency distribution, which is actually really easy. So if I want to find out what the relative frequency is, all I'm going to do is this: relative frequency. Just take the frequency and just divide by the number of observations. So I'm trying to get an idea. I'm just organizing data right now, trying to get an idea of what percentage of my class are Democrats. So I see that Democrats in my classroom make up 13 of 40 students. So that's the relative frequency of Democrats. So obviously the relative frequency of Republicans would be different. I mean, different in this case. Doesn't have to be different, but different in this case, where it would be 18 of 40. And interestingly, 9 of 40. And also, just to have this said, just in case you're in one of my classes, this is not based on actual data. This is just made up data. So this didn't actually come from any of my classes. So here's our frequency table, and here's our relative frequency. So I hope this is really helpful. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, and your comments are always welcome. Thanks.